Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today it is a windy afternoon in late April, and what I want to share with you today is Oncidiums. So many of my Oncidiums are blooming. These are not, this is not what I focus on. I have a few of them from one of the oldest plants that I have to a relatively new acquisition, and I just wanted to, but they're all like doing well and blooming. The flowers are incredibly variable in this alliance, and again, they all seem to be doing well. As far as the potting conditions and media, it's pretty varied throughout, but what I want to do is go through these Oncidiums with you. I do have a few more that are blooming and some that aren't, but let's focus on these for today because these are fun and they're pretty much, I think, in full bloom. So I want to start off with the one that is all the way on your right, which is this over here, all the way over here, which is a yellow NoID Oncidium. I'm not even sure where I picked this up, but you know, nice plant. It's bloomed for me pretty reliably throughout the years. Because it's a NoID, I would assume that it was gifted to me, or I picked it up at a garage sale or something. I don't even know, because I don't buy NoID plants, and certainly Oncidiums, but it seems to be doing really well. It's been blooming for I think probably about 3 weeks. Nice bloom spike and a big plant doing well. It is planted from the pot that I'm looking at. It is planted in 100% lava stone, so it's doing well in that mix. Moving on a little bit, let's go over to this other yellow Oncidium that is a really small flower. And this is, I know what this is Oncidium spacelatum, and I have 2 of these, and they're both in full bloom. I picked these up, some guy gave this to me. He had a huge plant, and it was kind of falling out of a wood basket that was just disintegrating. So he said, I bought a few other orchids from him, so he said, here, take this. And he's a nice guy, so I said, okay, and I took it and I split it, and all the pieces survived and are doing well. And this piece that is the biggest plant, it has, I'm looking in to see what's in here, and I've got the date on this. So this I've had for 2 years. And the plant is in a combination of lava stone on the bottom and leca, large, I think it's called giant leca, is on the top. The plant is doing really well. Last year about this time it put out a single bloom spike, and this year, as you can see, 3 bloom spikes really open. What's happened on this plant is I have areas where the blooms have been essentially rubbed off, because I've had this in my pergola and it was swinging and rubbing into some other plants, and it was a long bloom spike, so it just, the flowers just got worn off in the area. Small flowers, I've been trying to, nothing. There's no fragrance on this. I've been trying to pick something up, but there's nothing. I'm probably, and these things get big. I've heard stories of spacelatums where the plants are either in trees or in pots, and my understanding is that they can get as big as the back of a pickup truck. So these things will get huge. I've given these away. I've turned them down. I mean, they are beautiful plants, but I don't have the space for growing these big plants. So so this is probably going to get donated somewhere. We'll see. I don't know. Big plant, a nice Oncidium, really nice. I mean, nice flowers, a little small, no fragrance, but still, it's a Oncidium species, a nice plant. Okay, let's move on a little bit to this plant right here, and this is it's a Brassidium, so it is a cross between an Oncidium and I think a Brassia, and this is Kenneth Bivin's. And I picked this up from Sundance, I think, yeah, Sundance Orchids in Fort Myers, so just a little bit north of where I'm located here. And I say that I picked it up, but it wasn't me that selected this plant. So Plant Propagator Junior, when she was visiting, really liked this plant. The flowers on this plant are really very cool. The sepals and petals are long. There's actually some of the, I think the sepals kind of are curling. The flowers themselves, before they bloom, are even really long, and as they open up, they unfold, got some really nice coloration in them, and it's a nice plant. I like this. I got this not that long ago, maybe 6 or 9 months ago, so not very long ago, and it is already, and it was in spike when I got it, and my understanding is that it was going to be difficult to get it to bloom again. But at my orchid meeting a couple of weeks ago, somebody brought in the same exact plant, and theirs was in bloom at the orchid show that I attended maybe around 2 months ago. Same thing. Somebody brought in one of these, and I said, "How did you get it to bloom?" And she said, "I don't know." But I repotted this thing, and it's bloomed. So this is in the original pot. I think the original plant was in sphagnum, and I pulled it out of the pot, and it was just solid roots. It was incredibly root bound. And so what I did is I put it in a much larger pot, but I used bark. I used Orchiata bark, and I packed it down really tight. And periodically I dug through here, and I see the root system is already spreading through the Orchiata, so it's doing well. I was happy to see some new growth coming out, but then I was also surprised to see when I got back from my trip to the Midwest that it was in spike and it was about ready to bloom. So this is good. It's got a lot of room to grow in this pot. It's a pretty big pot. I think this is probably too heavy. It's pretty heavy. It's a big pot, but it's long, and it's probably too heavy to hang. So this is one of the few pots that I have that it's actually sitting on somewhere solid, where it seems to be doing really well. And so we'll keep it for a little while. Again, this belongs to the Plant Propagator Junior. I want to give her credit. I've smelled this previously, and I'm getting no fragrance out of it, which is a shame, but beautiful plant, really elegant flowers. I've tried crossing this once and was unsuccessful. I've tried crossing a few of the Oncidiums, and I apparently don't know what I'm doing, but I don't have a whole lot of them. And so I may try some crosses, I don't know. Okay, the last one is right here in front, and this is one of my oldest orchids. And again, when I was on this orchid shopping expedition, I had the Plant Propagator Junior with me, and she really liked this. And when it was sold to me, it was back in my early days of orchid growing, which is not that long ago, and it was sold to me as a chocolate orchid. But what this is Sharry Baby, and it's called a chocolate orchid because the Oncidiums tend to do is they can get some really nice fragrances to them, but most of these, with the exception of Sharry Baby, doesn't have fragrance. But Sharry Baby is chocolate. There's no question, it's chocolate. The interesting thing is that I bring, when some people bring these orchids to the shows, this is chocolate, there's some that are coconut, there's some that are rose, and you bring people to these things and say, okay, describe the fragrance, and not too many people can tell that they smell, oh, that's beautiful, that's a nice fragrance. They can't really identify the chocolate until I tell them, oh, does it smell like chocolate? They go, oh yeah, it does. This is chocolate. This is really a nice fragrance, and as you know, I am into fragrance gardening. I've got, oh my gosh, I've got my gardenia right here. I wish some of these guys smelled like a pure gardenia and as intense as this is. So this is gardenia, and one of the other plants that is blooming in my tropical garden is this, which is plumeria. And this is just a nice tropical fragrance on this. I'm going to call this plumeria fragrance. There's some differences in, I have a couple of plumerias, and there's some differences in the fragrance. And once I have both of them in full bloom, maybe we'll take a plumeria tour. But for right now, back to the Oncidiums. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I tend to do that. But this Sharry Baby is, you know, I've had it a long time. I haven't divided it yet. It's been stuck in the same pot. It's mostly leca in the pot, and then it got overgrown with ferns, and then I ripped all the ferns out. I'm surprised I got all of them. And then it stayed in the same pot. And it's doing surprisingly well. A lot of times the orchids get big and you gotta divide them. This Sharry Baby I haven't divided, so it's a really tolerant plant. But I think after it's done blooming here, I think I'm gonna have to divide this plant. But right now it's blooming well. It has one spike that's fully open. It has two more spikes that are in various stages of openness. None of them are like the one that's fully open, but a clear chocolate fragrance associated with that Oncidium. All right, so that's all I have for today. I just wanted to share with you and I'm so excited about my Oncidiums that just these group all seem to be flowering, doing well, close to peak, you know, either peak or maybe a little over peak on these Oncidiums, and it's just it's an exciting time. I've got a lot of other plants that are doing really well. I'm going to share with you some repottings of some of my Cattleyas. I brought home maybe a couple hundred Cattleya seedlings, and some of those are just amazing. I'm going to share some of those with you as far as how they look. I'm going to also share with you how I repot, and I'm going to share with you the ones that I have repotted, how they've grown, and it's just all so amazing. Happy to be here. Anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you could click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.